Okay, so real quick we're going to talk about this new part. It's actually a somewhat old part, but it's got a new lid on it. This is the new transistor from Haigu. It's the 2879. I'm going to leave that right there.
Yes, master.
This has got a laser etched lid on it. Now the lot 1608, and the reason they did this was for better tracking so they could see who was building with what parts and when. It's got a longer tracking number in it, but there's no difference between that and the standard HG that's got the lot 1608 on it. We're going to show you something here today. These wires are for, I'm going to drop this into another power supply that I'm building a 1000 amp power supply, and I'm building it with this RSP 1500. We're going to use this as our power supply instead of the bench supply because I want everything to be up here on the table for what I'm about ready to do. Our volt leads. This is going to be our power plug, this little piss-ass wire, and we're going to plug it right into that outlet. Okay. Here's our PEP meter. It's in 2x position, so fully deflected is going to be 2000 watts over here. 1000 watts is going to be right here. It's a 1000 watt slug and average. Basically the same thing you guys always look at, 1000 watt and average, 5 watt slug and reverse back from the Bird 10,000 watt dummy load. This is a piece of RG400 coax. It comes directly out of the back of the amplifier over the meter. Another piece of RG400 coax that comes directly out of the amplifier. Goes over to the Wolfman radio CB shop. D-rail radio with variable power on it. We've got the mic gain at max on this. I just did a video about this radio, and then I decided I would build this amplifier to test these parts. So to make everybody sure there's no tomfuckery going on here, that's the inside of this amp. Now I dare not perform this test without air on this box. So normally I'd break away and say, hey, let me throw the tin on it. Not doing that today. We're going to do one uncut shot from beginning to end. And we got to do that for a reason, because a lot of people are going to think, oh, there's some tomfuckery going on or something. I'm not above board or smoke and mirrors. Nope. That's it. Okay. I'm going to plug in the power supply now. And it's set at 17.3 volts. Let me zoom in on, well, I can't zoom in on that. I want to first show everything working. So we're going to kick on the 2x4. Hello, audio. Now let's zoom on in here for a second. So now on our far left, see for me to get around in the frame here. This meter here is our 5 watt slug and reverse, 1000 watt slug and average, 1000 watt slug in 2x position. Okay, our voltmeter off our power supply, and the only thing I'm going to adjust is going to be dead key. So now we're going to do our absolute max peak power. Audio, audio, audio. So you've seen our voltage, what it fell to underneath the load. We're seeing about 1400 to 1450 PEP. And over here we're seeing 710 watts average power. And that's on about 14.5 this way. Hello, audio, audio. 14.2. Now this mean well supply that we're powering this with, when I bring the dead key up, this power supply is really going to start to chooch. So now let's do a real world test. And what do I mean by real world test is, well, we're going to make it do a huge dead carrier. And remember, we can only swing forward. Once we start falling back, it becomes bullshit. So let's start here. Oh, RF's getting in the mic. There's 200 watt dead key. 200 watt, about half the meter movement, so that's at 100. Hello, audio, audio. That's 650 bird. RF getting in the mic again. I'm going up to a 400 watt carrier. Hello, audio, audio, audio. That's from a 400 watt dead key. Going forward on the average meter. There's a 500 watt carrier. Hello, audio, audio. Hello, audio. Now, by any sense of the words, the parts inside this box are screaming hot. They're screaming hot. So let's go on up. That's a 650 watt dead key, RMS power. Watch this. Hello, audio. Not falling back. Now, I want to repeat this process in reverse, because everybody can say, well, I'm screwing with the results. Turn the camera lens around so you can see it, so I got everything in frame. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. It's our 650, almost 700 watt dead key. Modulating forward and not falling back on the average meter. It's our 500 watt carrier. Hello, audio. 400 watt carrier. Hello, audio, audio. 200 watt carrier. Hello, audio, hello. Boy, we're tickling like 780 watts, almost 800 watts of RMS peak power, this number here. Meanwhile, our peak number hasn't changed. And then we'll go on down for our absolute max peak power. Throw our dead key down to nothing. What is that, 10 watts? 20 watts. Hello, audio. So, one last test to validate the numbers. Cool, we can see the amp gauge now. Hello, audio. Hello. That's 112 amps of DC direct current feeding the system. Now, I'm not going to lie. Very blown away by the radio, and I'm also very blown away with the component and the abuse that we just put it through. This is a real world test. Now let's see if we can break it. Let's go on back over here. Let's run our dead key up. We're going to pay attention to this middle meter here. Ready? Here we go. Destruct test. We're squealing. There we go. And the voltage inside the box is dropping to nothing. That was an 850 watt dead key. Okay? The power supply is running out of poop. The power supply is running out of poop. The amp's starving for current. So we could hook this up to a bigger power supply. But I just wanted to show everybody what these little parts are capable of. You draw your own conclusion. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Gentlemen, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Without a doubt, this is true. Come find me, www.bbiamps.com. Come find me on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Of course, right here on the YouTuber. Make sure to click subscribe. You guys have a good night. We'll see you. Bye. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to give everybody a little gift. I buy my parts from Chuck CB Sales. He's the one that furnished me with these parts directly from Mr. North. We're not having any import issues whatsoever. We have several thousand of them in stock, usually same day ship as ordered. And I'll throw his number up on the screen, probably right about here. And I'll also sell them to you. I've got a large quantity of these also in stock. But call Truck, Brian Smith at Truck CB Sales at this number, right about there. Y'all have a good one. I'll see ya. You draw your own conclusions. I'm still a Toshiba man, but I might slowly become a convert. I'll see ya. Bye-bye. 500 watt dead key. This is with 2.5 watts input power. So 500 watts on the average meter and 500 watts over there on the peak meter. And 2x. Turn the fans on the dummy mode. $110. $128.6. Alright, I'll stop now because I'm starting to see the power drop off. That was a solid 500 watt carrier, and we fell off by about 50 watts. Pretty good test. We let it go till it completely blows itself up, but let's see here. $158.3 or 156.3. And now the heat's really starting to transfer. Probably put a higher CFM fan in here and get around that. Okay guys, good night.